France 24's Gulliver Cragg standing by in Kyiv. Gulliver, good afternoon. Has the mood in the capital changed after those peace talks yesterday in Istanbul?
Not much, I'd say. I think you can see the green bus behind me. That's an evacuation bus which has been organised by the Jewish community of Kyiv. It's mostly Jewish people who are leaving the country on that bus. They're going first to Moldova and then they'll fly to Israel. Not only Jewish people. And so they clearly don't think it's safe. I spoke to some of them earlier and they said that they don't feel, despite these Russian announcements, that they are safe staying in Kyiv, though they said that they hope to be able to return and live in the Ukrainian capital as soon as possible. You speak to other people who do feel a little bit more confident, certainly confident that the Russians will not be able to take Kyiv. I think that the level of confidence that the Ukrainian military will be able to defend Ukraine's capital has really shot up over the past couple of weeks, but that doesn't mean that people feel sure that they're not going to try. And overnight there were intense battles that we could hear from the city centre. That is perhaps, of course, just the Ukrainian counteroffensive continuing to try to take better control of Irpin and full control of Hostomel and Bucha, the other two satellite towns near Irpin, which are still occupied by the Russians. Of course, the Russians didn't say that they would stop occupying the territory that they currently occupy to the northwest of Kyiv. They just said that they'd reduce their military operations. And we do see some Russian forces leaving back to Belarus in particular, but the Ukrainian military think that that's more to regroup than to really abandon all their ambitions in this region. And also, in Chernihiv, the local authorities there, that's the big city to the north and slightly to the east of Kyiv, they say that there was intense bombardment of Chernihiv overnight. So really not very much sign really of Russian forces changing their tactics so far.
And Gulliver, talk us through the situation in the south of Ukraine after that attack we saw in Mykolaiv yesterday.
Well, the regional governor, Vitaly Kim, said this morning that the death toll from that attack has now risen to 13, and operations are still going on to try to look through the rubble. So it's possible the death toll may rise even further, and 33 wounded, 5 of them seriously as well. And moreover, as Vitaly Kim confirmed, and I also heard from people on the ground, there was bombardment of areas around Mykolaiv overnight and also of neighbouring Kherson, which is the only big city currently occupied by Russian forces. I spoke to one resident of the region this morning who said that the Ukrainian forces at the moment are pretty nervous. They've seen more Russian troops coming in from Crimea, and they fear that the Russians may be about to try to launch a new offensive in that region to try to push north and around Kherson and Mykolaiv.
Gulliver, thank you very much for the update. Gulliver Cragg reporting there for us from Kyiv.